according to their language, French or English at this time. This is the reason why it's very important to rename yourself in the Zoom session, so that we can clearly see which is your language and we can put you in one room or the other. Here in the screen you can see the instructions of how to do so. So if you can change your name accordingly, please. If anyone has a doubt on how to change their names, you can ask. Okay, I see some of you already changing. Perfect. I see most. Welcome everyone to this third and last session of the environmental management training module. I hope you enjoyed the last two sessions, and I hope you enjoy also this session, which will be hopefully very interactive, and we are looking forward to hearing your opinions and the discussions in the breakout rooms. At the end of this session, I will explain you a little bit more about the mentoring process that will start now. You will also receive information in the email, but yeah, I will give you some hints on how will this go. So whenever, Sylvia, you want to start.
Yes, thank you. Welcome everyone. I'm gonna share my screen, if that's okay. Hopefully most of you have already changed your name. So as Gemma was saying, if you can put first of all the language English or French, so we know when in what room to put you. Right, so I wanted to share my screen right now to explain you what we're gonna do today. Hopefully you can see my screen. Let me put it in. Can you see it? Yes, perfect. So what we're going to do today is to put a little bit in practice everything that we have been talking about in the last two sessions. You have these documents that we have sent you, but I wanted to show you now on screen, so you all can see this map and the other information we have for the case study of today. So the goal today is to, as Gemma was saying, discuss and have a participative session where you all can have a saying and can participate and try to find solutions to some environmental problems that we have in this imaginary city. So as you can see in this map, this is like a fictitious city, like a case study that is fictional, but of course very real at the same time. So it's based on a Mediterranean city with a Mediterranean climate. And this city presents several environmental problems, the ones that we of course have talked about in the other two sessions. So as you can see in the little at the bottom right of the map, here we present you with the 8 problems or challenges that this city is facing, and it's the 8 challenges that you will have to work with today. Okay, so the first problem that this city is having is the urban heat island effect. And as you can see, we have marked in red color the areas that approximately this city have the most impact regarding this urban heat island, especially in the city center that you can see of the city. So the more dense sort of like building and city area. The other problem that this city is also showing is the urban flooding. So as you can see on the left side of the map, there's this blue, like the river marked in blue that goes from north to south. And this is where most of the flooding problems and impacts arise in this city, but also in other parts of the city, not specifically shown here, but it is known that this city presents also flooding problems from other areas, not only near the river. Then in yellow, as you can see in the coast, in the beach area, this city is also presenting some problems associated to sea level rise, coastal erosion, and also the reduction of beach area, as especially during summer, this city has quite a lot of tourism. And this is a problem that they are facing, that the beach area is being reduced. Then we also have these are maybe more focused problems, like more geographically focused problems, but there's also transversal problems that affect all the city in general, but they are also still very serious problems that the city is facing. So the first one is potential poverty and like increase of poverty of the population. There's some areas that like people are like more poor, and this is expected also to increase. And they also have some food provision problems, especially in the midterm or even like short term, also due to climate change. So this is one of the transversal problems that the city is facing. Then the city is also facing water scarcity already now, and also increased in the future probably due to climate change and other aspects. So it's also a transversal problem, water availability, especially because there's different uses, agriculture, industry, domestic use of water. So there's a water scarcity problem. Then there's also some pests and invasive species, for example, mosquitoes, also pigeons, but also other pests or invasive species that have also been identified. And then finally, they also present air and sea pollution, which is also affecting in general this city, this fictional city. So as you can see, you have this map where more or less we have shown these different problems. And finally, even though it's not an environmental problem itself, it is a challenge, because in the orange area, which is the last of the elements that we have in this little map, this orange area is possible or potential places where the city can grow. So as you can see, the city center is already a built environment, but on these outskirts, like more the suburban areas, there's potential for new developments, new schools or new buildings, new urbanizations. And this is a challenge because with all these environmental problems, when the city wants to expand and urbanize this area with whatever they decide to do, it's going to face the same problems that the city center is facing now. So there is a challenge of how can we do this so in the future we don't have the same problems that are already affecting us overall and in the city center and flooding and heat island, etc. Right, so here it's not that much a problem, but a challenge that also the city is facing. So this is the map that you can always go back and consult again, right, to then try to find the solutions and the planning on how to address these challenges. That's the goal of today, how we're going to solve these problems. In the other slide that you have of this document, we have just put some general information, just so you also have some more data of the city. That you can see here, so the population and the surface, also the number of schools and universities and hospitals that you can see, and also tourist offices, because as we mentioned in summer, they have quite a lot of tourism. And also we have put here a public transport map. So you can see the different transport lines, where they are. So they are more in the city center, but also towards the suburbs, etc. So it's just additional information that you can use to then take decisions or propose suggestions of how we address the problems. Then in the other slide, we have also shown the local government of the city So the more related areas or departments that this local government have. Not all of them, because we've mainly put maybe the most relevant in order to then decide or implement these nature-based solutions or other environmental solutions, right? So for example, we have urbanism, mobility, environment, also social services. So there's, as you can see, different departments and areas in this local government. And then finally, we have put here these tables. This one you haven't seen yet. This is so the list of different nature-based solutions. Some of them we have seen in the past session, and the climate hazards that they can address. So for example, it's a bit small, but if you have the document, so you can zoom in and see it better. But for example, the first one, green roofs, are one good nature-based solution to address, in this case, heat and also surface water runoff, so floodings, right? And all the rest. And also we've put the gray solutions, that some of them we've also talked about in session number 2. And finally, this table that you have not seen complete, but if you remember in session 1, when we were explaining each of the nature-based solutions, we had the corresponding line of each of the solutions. So you have on the top part the nature-based solutions, and on the column on the left you have the different benefits. So the main benefit of this solution in red color, and then the different co-benefits in color green, right? And you can see here, this is important because it's gonna be good for you to know this, but as you can see on the left, these different co-benefits or main benefits of the nature-based solution are divided by environmental benefits, social or cultural benefits, and economic benefits, right? So the 3 different types of benefits. It's good to know this for what I'm going to show you now, okay? The exercise that we're going to be working on. Right, so this is for now what I wanted to show you. Now let me share with you let me see, the exercise itself, right? So now when we are divided by groups, hopefully you see, you let me know if now you see the Word document. Do you see it? Gemma, yes, okay. So what we're going to do now is separate you into different groups, right? And each group will have to fill in 2 different tables. Well, this is the first one, and then I'm going to show you the other one now. Don't worry, there's a lot of columns and spaces to fill in, but don't worry, we're going to tell you how to do this, and it's not going to be complicated. So for each challenge or problem, the 8 ones that we have just seen now, we will have to fill in this table, first the table 1 and then the table 2, right? Initially, we think that you will have time to maybe fill in these tables for 2 of the challenges or the environmental problems. But of course, if you've finished before or you have already discussed all the different options, we can of course do the rest and do 3, 4, or 5 environmental problems or challenges, okay? But at least ideally, we would fill in 2 of them, okay? So as you can see here in question in this table 1, so before we actually decide what nature-based solution we need to implement, nature-based solution or other environmental solution, but primarily we're looking to implement nature-based solutions, as we have been seeing in the other sessions. So before knowing what nature-based solution we need to implement, it's important to make a pre-design planification and study, first of all, the source of the problem, also what information, specific information or studies or analysis I need in order to know more about this problem and to know what specific nature-based solution I need to implement. So that's what we're trying to address in this first table. So before you saying nature-based solutions to solve this problem, we first want you to, for each challenge, so for example, urban heat island, answer these questions. The first one, what is the environmental problem to tackle? Here we would put urban heat island. This is just the title of the problem, right? And then here we would say, what are the sources of the problem? So why do I have this problem of urban heat island? What are the reasons? So in what way have I altered nature and you know the rhythm of nature and the way nature shapes also the earth? So how have I altered nature through urbanization, etc. And from that, then I have this problem. So trying to find the source of this problem, because sometimes identifying where the problem is and where does it come from and why do we have urban heat island here or flooding here and not there, will help us to find a better solution, okay? So list here, we can make a list of different reasons, reason 1, reason 2, maybe there's only one, etc. Right? So here we would put different problems and sources. Then what information do we need to be able to define the solutions? And here we're thinking, so again, before implementing a specific solution, maybe I'm not going to implement, for example, green roofs in all the city. I need to maybe assess which ones are the best ones, for example, no? Like where do I have available roof? What buildings maybe are the best ones because they are more strong to carry these green roofs, for example. So we need to know things before knowing what solution to implement or where to implement this solution, right? So here we're trying to find out what do I need? So what specific studies on an issue, or if I need mapping, or if I need to consult other stakeholders or some expert or engineers, etc. Right? So making a list of what do I need before implementing my nature-based solution. And finally here, what will be the main stakeholders that I will consult or who will be involved in this definition phase. So either experts or maybe also the public or other departments of the local government. Then maybe we should state what departments, and remember you have the list of departments there. So a little bit of this information, right? And then finally, when we have all of this, we can complete table number 2. And table number 2, as you can see, it's first of all, the possible solution to implement, as I say, preferably nature-based solutions. So here, for example, we would say green roofs, right? Which is one of the types that we have also explained. Then here we should name the main co-benefits. As you will see in the table, if you don't remember, you can of course check the table. There's many. So maybe we don't have to put them all. Maybe we can put just the most relevant, right? We can put here this one, 2, maybe here 1, maybe here 3, whatever, right? Then we also think that it's important to maybe try to think of 1 or 2 indicators that maybe would be effective and useful for you as a local government to track progress and evolution of this solution. So maybe if I implement a lot of green roofs, then I implement them, but then I need to make a follow-up, right? And to know if this, how much is helping. No? So maybe, well, of course, here there could be financial indicators, first of all, of how much money per square meter or whatever. That would be also a way of tracking progress of the financial economic cost, but also, for example, of the, the urban heat island, if it has been reduced, or the temperature of the building. So just some indicators that could help us maybe evaluate the success of this action. And then again, the stakeholders involved also in the monitoring of the not only the implementation phase, but also the monitoring. And finally, other aspects of the observations that you might think that this action has. So it's so expensive, or this is actually really good because it also combined with this other solution, maybe it can also help this other problem, whatever other observations or aspects you think, right? And here, as you can see, for each challenge or environmental problem, you can put, here we have put a table with 5 solutions. It could be even more, and maybe in some cases there's only 1. So don't get scared. You don't have to fill in all the table, just whatever you feel and whatever you discuss. Maybe you guys have a lot of discussion about one specific nature-based solution, and then you only fill 1 line, but it's okay. Right, and then the same, as you can see here, for the challenge number 2. Right, so first the first table and then the second table. I repeat that in case that you have more time, you have discussed already a lot in these 2 challenges, you can make a 3rd challenge, right? And then it's just a matter of copying and paste these 2 tables again and filling them up, right?
Silvia,
okay.
I would also say to keep that to everyone to keep in mind that there will be also 1 person from the team in each one of the breakout rooms. So don't get scared for the table, because...
Yes, we will all be like, I will be in 1 group, and exactly all of us will be in one of the groups. So of course, every time you have a question or you get stuck or you don't know what to fill in, we are there to help you and to guide you. We will of course not fill in the table for you guys, because we want you to also think about it and discuss with others, but we will definitely be there to help you and guide you. And also, one thing that we believe it can be very useful and good for you also is that in each of the groups, one of you is the spokesperson. So is the person that actually takes this Word document shares it with the rest of the group and writes down all of the inputs that you guys are saying. So instead of us filling it in, we think that if one of you is up for it, which there's no need to be scared, or there's no problem in that, but if one of you feels like writing down, I think it would be good also for the group to enhance this discussion. So we suggest that one of you in the group, that we can decide once we are inside of the rooms, that one of you is the one that shares this Word document in the screen, writes down all the answers, and then at the very end of the session, so after 45 minutes of discussion, more or less, we will go back to this room where we are now, where we are all together, and per group we will discuss and talk, and you will present the different tables. So you will share the table and explain us, okay, here we think that this would be good, or this solution, or this problem, or this, okay, so we will discuss it at the very end of the session. And ideally, this spokesperson that is the one that writes down all of the inputs and consensus responses is the one that will also present these results at the end of the session, right? So that is the idea. If no one is up for it, hopefully it's not the case, but if no one is up for it, we will do it. But again, we encourage you to do it because we think that it can also be very enriching. And I think that is it from my side. I don't know if Gemma or anyone else wants to add anything, or if any of you already have a question now, which we can.
In order to be able to start the breakout rooms, I would need everyone with the name, including the language, so that I can put them in the breakout rooms. Some people has put it in the chat, so I'm changing their names accordingly. So you can either follow the instructions. Alicia, maybe if you can put them again just a second, or also you can put in the chat the language and the municipality, and I will change it for you. And I would say from my side that that's it. I will, whenever you tell me, I will start the breakout rooms.
Yeah, I think Gemma, maybe let's give us 45 minutes. So maybe at 3:15 we can come back. So let's say that each group has 45 minutes to discuss the different solutions and challenges and planning. So yeah, if there's any question now, you can also unmute yourself and let us know through the microphone or on the chat if you have any questions or don't understand something. But otherwise, yeah, maybe Gemma, you can already send us to each of the rooms. And of course, because we will be, one of us will be there, we can also solve the questions in the groups.
Okay, so I'm going to launch the breakout rooms. Let's see if there is anyone else I can add here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so for now we have yeah, 9 people in the English room, and in the French room 9 more people. Perfect. The other people who isn't renamed yet, I will do it in the meantime, and I will send them to the rooms. Okay, so I'm going to start now the rooms. Okay. So okay, to the rest of the people. Okay, I see here already. I will assign the people that are putting the names now. Alicia,
Yes.
can you?
You
Yeah,
put to me in the French one.
Yeah, it's because it was the trial before. You can put yourself in the other one. I'm putting a bit.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, why?
I cannot see my room, the English room. Okay. I cannot see it.
1 second.
No worries.
Okay, I moved you. Okay. Assign to English. Okay, the rest of you, I'm assigning you now. So here I have some people that I assigned to some rooms, but they didn't change. Alicia, you should have received a message now to change room in theory. And the people who is here and did not change room, for example, some of you should have been assigned. So I don't know, I think you need to accept the invitation. Okay, so I see some of you moving. So from you, the only ones that are not assigned yet, because I don't know the language, are, sorry for my pronunciation, Rehan Jamal. Which language should I put you in? Hello, Mr. Arvi. In this session, we are moving to breakout rooms. So I need you to tell me or to write in your name which language would you like, English or French, and I will move you in one room or the other accordingly. Okay. Mr. Arvi, can you hear me? I cannot hear you.
Oui.
Now. Yes.
Bonjour.
Yes, sir. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Je
Well,
m'excuse pour le retard.
No, don't worry. Can you rename yourself? Well, I will put you in the French room.
In French.
Yes. Yeah. As you know, in this session, we are in breakout rooms. You will discuss about city that has some problems. So to find the solutions with the experts, so I will put you in the French room. So okay, you should receive now the invitation. Did you see it?
Ouais. L'invitation. Oui.
Sí, ara ja està, no? Mireia?
Sí, ja està.
Sí, ja
I els altres dos que queden, què?
No ho sé. És que jo crec que han deixat obert i han marxat o alguna cosa.
Els assignem a algun lloc?
Vale. A veure, per obrir-la, a veure si ho veig amb el... Com que jo tinc els...
Clar, els mails i tot, no?
Exacte, vaig a mirar si... Vale.
Reham Jamal. Sense així puc veure la ciutat. Sí, però l'altre té nom en àrab i no...
Irbit, vale, doncs anglès.
El Reham?
Sí. English. I el nom àrab hi havia un altre. Posaré francès.
És que no sé si ho escric... Sí.
Bueno, no hi és,
És com si fos Mohamed, però no està així
Ah,
escrit.
sí? Ah, clar que sí.
Sí, jo puc llegir-ho, però...
Li he enviat un...
Ah, diu que no ha rebut la invitació. Sí.
Hajar. Ah, no? A veure...
És que li havia escrit en privat també, però no està aquí, vull dir que sí que ha entrat.
J'ai pas reçu l'invitation pour aller à la salle française.
Ok.
A veure, i on està?
Sí. No, French Room, no?
Sí. Sí.
Okay, let me try again.
Però no la veig aquí, jo.
No, in theory you should be there.
I ja posa la...
Let me try something. I will change you into the
English?
English and then put you back in the French and see if that works. Move to...
Però jo no la veig ni en una ni en l'altra.
Now, vale, ara l'he posat a l'anglès i ara la tornaré a moure. Hajar, move to French. A veure ara.
Ah, no ha entrat, diu. Ara sí, ja està
Ara
dins.
sí.
Ja està.
I
Està tothom... Sí, està tothom dins.
falta...
Sí, aquest que no sabem.
Què faig? Poso en anglès.
Sí.
Però li envio un missatge personal. Hello, Ai, here, sorry,
Miquel Azur.
sí, we haven't...
Pots mirar el Miquel Azur, que acaba
Sí, acaba
d'entrar.
d'entrar.
Sí.
Hello, Miquel. Hello.
Espera, que s'està connectant ara amb àudio.
Sí.
Li vaig enviar...
Hello, Miquel.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you? I'm fine.
Good, thanks. How are you?
Sorry for the delay.
No, don't worry. That's okay. We are now in breakout rooms, as I told you in the email. So what do you prefer, English room or French room? English?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to move you to the English room. Okay. Ah, we have already done so. Mireia, did you do it?
Sí.
Ah, okay. Perfect. So you should. Perfect. Okay.
Vale, ja està aquí dins, sí.
Okay, I just sent...
Per què continuem veient aquí el Reham Jamal si l'hem enviat a un altre lloc?
És veritat. Reham? Perquè crec que si no accepten, es queden aquí.
Sí, és veritat, estan aquí.
Sí.
Com la Emma.
Ok, sí, clar, la Emma jo li he demanat per si entrava algú French speaker.
Vale, doncs ja està, tothom.
Vale, I'm going to move... Mouré aquest a l'anglès. Tot això s'està gravant.
Sí, bueno.
Això ho haurem de tallar, no?
Clar, el que no gravem són les breakout rooms.
Clar.
A tot això, espera.
To see that everyone was participating so much, so it was nice to have more minutes. But now I'm looking forward to see what you have been discussing about. So remember, we have the simultaneous translation. So that
I think we need to activate again. I think in my case it was deactivated.
Oh, really?
So I have to put English again.
Yeah.
But it's there. Just if you don't have.
Okay. So I leave the word for you.
Yes. So at the end, I think there were two groups, right? So one in French and one in English. I've been in the English one all the time, and well, from what I've been experiencing in this group, it's been super active. So it's been really, really nice. We completed the table for one of the challenges. We didn't have time for more than one challenge, but it was very interesting because you realize that with one challenge, there's many good points and inputs and information that we are all sharing. So it was a very interesting discussion. Maria, I don't know if you wanna, make like
it was exactly the same, Silvia. We, to be honest, we didn't complete the 2 tables, but we, amongst us, we chose one theme. Is it okay if I speak in French, because I've been speaking French, and then you hear me in English?
If you, Maria, just if you speak in French, you need to be in the French channel so that we hear you through the English.
Okay. Okay, no, then I will speak in English because I don't know how to do it. It's okay. So we chose, we discussed a lot about urban waste because it was a main challenge shared by many of the cities. And we discussed some solutions. And I think it was very interesting that we had some options of treatment and revalorization of waste from Lebanon, and in our case from Morocco, and that was really interesting. So that's our thanks, Firas, for sharing. So we had Firas who was helping us to collect all the information, and now he's gonna share with us our conclusions. Firas, you wanna go for it?
Bonjour, on a travaillé pour le groupe en parle le français, les problématiques environnementales. Pour Pardon?
Je pense que c'est quelqu'un qui, it's somebody outside of the meeting.
Okay. Pour la question, quel est le défi, le problème environnemental à relever, on a traité 3 thèmes qui sont le traitement des déchets, l'installation de photovoltaïques pour l'éclairage public et la valorisation des eaux. Pour la deuxième question, quelle est la source du problème, et identification des raisons pour lesquelles c'est un problème dans notre ville maintenant. On a évoqué les réponses suivantes, c'était comme si la capacité insuffisante de gestion des déchets dans le tissu urbain, parce que beaucoup de communes n'ont pas le pouvoir à gérer ou bien à maîtriser les différentes sources ou bien les différentes sources de nuisance par les différents intervenants, quelle que soit population ou bien d'autres acteurs impliqués. Absence de la politique de tri à la source au niveau local, parce qu'il s'agit uniquement des stratégies nationales qui ne sont pas encore totalement appliquées et concrétisées. Mener des campagnes de sensibilisation et de communication, parce que la population n'est pas encore censée et intéressée par le mal fait de la population, absence d'une politique de valorisation des déchets organiques et des déchets de démolition, sont généralement enfouissés tous ces types de déchets, ce qui implique une pollution atmosphérique, pollution de la nappe phréatique et toute autre source et toute autre sorte de pollution. Difficulté de transformer la matière organique en compostage, malgré la facilité d'impliquer ce process, mais réellement à cause d'absence de politique de tri à la source, ça... Pardon. Aussi, absence des éco-points, c'est-à-dire les déchetteries, parce que ça, ce qui implique la présence des lexies via la présence des sources de nuisances autour des citoyens. Au niveau de collecte des déchets, les communes ont signalé la présence des déchets polluants à l'intérieur de la ville générés par les industriels et les pharmacies. Ce qui prouve que ces gens-là sont inconscients de ce qu'on est en train de faire par rapport à la pollution de la nature et le coût de dégradabilité de la nature. Donc, par rapport à la troisième information, de quelle information avons-nous besoin pour être en mesure de définir la solution? On doit faire tout d'abord la caractérisation. On a évoqué la caractérisation des déchets, le système de collecte, création des circuits de collecte à travers la mise en place d'un GPS, cartographier les points noirs pour faciliter l'intervention à un temps exact et un temps réel et assurer les quantités des déchets collectés. Il y a aussi le problème des odeurs, les émissions de gaz à effet de serre, avoir des informations sur le nombre de chiffonnés, réaliser un diagnostic exhaustif pour avoir plus d'informations et maîtriser le territoire et ainsi les différents types de déchets. Quelles seront les principales parties prenantes qui sont consultées ou impliquées dans cette phase de définition? On a évoqué aussi les entreprises qui sont généralement des entreprises privées, les chiffonniers qui ont un rôle très important au niveau de collecte, mais la société civile et les municipalités. Peut-être il y a d'autres acteurs qu'on n'a pas encore évoqués, comme les agences de gestion de déchets, peut-être des aires métropolitaines. Ça dépend, chaque pays a son contexte. On a passé aux tables qui sont les solutions. Les solutions possibles à mettre en œuvre. La première solution, c'est le tri sélectif. Comme co-bénéfice, on a discuté sur le bénéfice social, c'est la réalisation des campagnes de sensibilisation. Pour le co-bénéfice environnemental, c'est réduire les émissions de gaz à effet de serre à travers la réduction des quantités de carburant générées lors de collecte des déchets. Un aspect économique, c'est la réduction de la facture énergétique. Comme indicateur, peut-être la quantité de déchets collectés, triés, collectés, et sa qualité. Comme deuxième point, la mise en place des déchetteries. On a évoqué comme observation, c'est les créations des infrastructures qui sont actuellement inexistantes et peut-être dans d'autres pays sont très mal exploitées ou bien sont dégradées. Et du point de vue économique, ce sont des points qui font des liens entre les centres d'enfouissement et les citoyens. Donc, ils raccourcissent les distances, donc minimiser les frais de collecte. Pour le troisième point, implémenter le compostage. Comme premier point bénéfice environnemental, c'est l'amélioration de la qualité du sol, parce que les sols sont très pauvres en matière organique et réduction des émissions de gaz à effet de serre et amélioration de la notion de tri à la source. Et comme co-bénéfice social, c'est la population, on en doit avoir une population plus engagée, plus respectueuse de l'environnement et on acceptation du compost par les utilisateurs parce que On doit faire beaucoup de campagnes de sensibilisation pour montrer et juger les utilisateurs que le produit obtenu, c'est un produit de bonne qualité et comparable et peut-être plus mieux à ce produit à ceux du fumier de bovin. Et comme troisième point, c'est informer la population du bienfait du compostage. Et comme bénéfice économique, c'est la valorisation à moindre coût. Les indicateurs, c'est la qualité du produit, la quantité produite, le prix de vente. Il doit être un prix très compétitif par rapport au fumier de bovin pour encourager les citoyens à l'utiliser. Et par conséquent, c'est encourager l'économie circulaire. Les acteurs impliqués sont les municipalités, les ONG, les entreprises privées. C'est un projet comme observation, c'est un projet non compliqué, ni du point de vue technique, ni du point de vue infrastructure. C'est un projet simple et à faible coût d'investissement. Et comme quatrième solution, c'est la valorisation énergétique des déchets comme co-bénéfice environnemental, c'est réduire l'enfouissement et par conséquent la réduction de la pollution phréatique essentiellement. Et comme bénéfice économique, c'est l'utilisation d'autres sources des produits output qui sont les engrais, l'électricité et d'autres produits. Ça dépend de la solution utilisée lors de la valorisation énergétique des déchets. C'est parce que chaque solution utilisée a ses caractéristiques et ça diffère d'une technique à une autre. Comme exemple, on a l'exemple du Maroc. Donc, les produits utilisés sont les déchets organiques comme les RDF sont utilisés à la cimenterie. Et après ça, on a terminé la discussion et merci pour votre attention.
Thank you so much, Feaz. Maybe Sylvia, you want to share your experience with the group?
Yeah, before we share our discussion, Hosam will share the screen now. But yeah, well, thank you for the exposing the main inputs of your discussion. It sounds like you had a really interesting discussion as well. It also shows something that I had written down while I was listening, is that it shows the link between the different modules or sectors, no, like waste, environment, and energy, right? So that they are all interlinked in this sense, and transport as well. This also happening in our session. We also saw these connections. So yeah, as Gemma was saying, also this solid waste management module will be discussed on Thursday. So if you're not registered, you can send as an email. In the chat you have the email, so it will be very focused on this topic as well, which seems also in our group it was also highlighted as one of the main problems, right? And it's of course very transversal, so waste, environment, energy, etc. So lots of good discussions also here. And just to say, before Hosam exposes our discussion, just to say that there were very similar or common elements in your discussion and in our discussion. One of them was, well, the stakeholders involved. So we also have, civil society and business, private companies, and of course the different areas of the local governments involved in the implementation of these measures, and also awareness campaigns. We also talked about how important it is to raise awareness of the citizens through schools. So now we'll talk about it, but through schools, and also to the private companies and businesses in industries. In our case, we talked about air pollution. So of course, industries it's a big part of the air pollution source, and so to also raise awareness in directly, right, through the local government, and so that they are all more environmental friendly and realize how important it is to take care of the environment in a sustainable and natural way. and also to identify the hotspots. In your case, it was regarding waste. In our case, was also identify the hotspots of air pollution. But yes, thank you for that. Now I want Sam to maybe share the document, and then you can explain what we discussed regarding air pollution.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I appreciate being here with you all. Thank you all. And this, as the message said, we talk about air pollution. Well, it was a lot of contribution as English speakers group. Therefore, we ran out of time, but there is a valuable contribution here. We defined the sources of the problem about air pollution. We started with industrial facilities and also decreasing greenlands in Jordan. We were talking in Jordan specifically and all over the world. Also, the transportation and the traffic creating a huge amount of air pollution. Also, suspended particles in the air, as one of the participants said, it's like particles that polluted air and causing environmental problem, especially in the Jordan and in the desert areas in the Middle East, such as Zarqa here in the city and some places in Amman. Also, electricity that produced from a fuel. Companies here basically use fuels and coals to generate electricity. They produce a huge amount of air polluted, such as CO2 to the air. Also, we have a very serious issue. It's about the trees cutting, decreasing green land. This prohibits the environment from the O2 and also make land release more like particles to the air. Okay, or polluted particles. Also, we define the solutions or parts of the solutions that may contribute to reduce the air pollution in Middle East and in Jordan, of course. Like we can use the land mapping or geodatabases of harmful activities and areas or pollution sources. This helps us to identify the harmful areas that maybe we start to plan or to concentrate on, so we can begin to solute such problems. Also, measuring awareness of the community is a good indicator that we can start. So community is very important in air pollution. Many activities by the community are conducted and also increase the air pollution. Awareness in Middle East, I can talk about Jordan, is not so high, unfortunately. So we need to increase awareness of the community. Also, identifying the effective groups in your community, such as experts, civil society, and committees. Next, we talk about the main stakeholders that will be consulted or involved. We define the municipality officials and experts. They are very effective, as all of you know. Local governments, urban experts, mobility private sectors, and of course NGOs. So all of the list is bigger, but this is the main contributors or stakeholders that we can consider to reduce air pollution. Next, in the second table, we talk about possible solutions to implement. We started with monitoring stations for air quality. It's a very important consideration here, because if we measure the air pollution, we can know how big the air pollution or the problem, how big the problem is, and we can use this measurement before and after, before solutions and after solutions. So it's also considered later as indicator. The second solution was using filters in factories. Well, it's maybe reducing the CO2 and other polluting gases to the air from factories. The third solution we talk about about expanding green urban lands and also spaces, so we reduce air pollution by using green lands. Promoting also usage of green transportation, promoting usage of green transportation, such as EVs, electronic vehicles, and increasing e-charging stations. Also, we talk about in Arab countries and including Jordan, that we have a shortage in EVs charging stations, and decrease also in the cars amount. So we need to increase charge stations, and also environmental awareness as another solution, number 5. Also, we talk about sharing expertise and experiences, and we talk about how environmental awareness was very, very important, and we have to measure before making an awareness campaigns. We measure the community awareness and sharing also expertise and experiences between different bodies. Also, we talk about co-benefits, including environmental, social, and economic. Environmental, we discuss about increased biodiversity and how air pollution will decrease, biodiversity increases. And also we talk about increased groundwater amount and availability. Also reduce the greenhouse effect, CO2 concentration in the air. Also decrease the flood impact, decrease temperature levels, decrease desertification, and other environmental benefits. Social, we talk about increased community to social activities. This is a good point. Well, we have maybe in a lot of countries or areas in the Middle East, we lack of such areas to make a social activities like in a good environment. Here in Zerga, we don't have that places, unfortunately, or it's very rare to use here. So we really have to consider this issue. We talk about enhanced community also health. I think this happens by default when your air pollution is decreased. We talked about economic effect, like increase the value of lands, as Ms. Sylvia said. Increasing the value of land will increase the economic activity in the country that have a good air quality level. And also we talked about it, attracting tourists will increase activities here in the Middle East. We have also a lot of places, historical places. We just need environment so we can promote our towards economy. Also, we talked about create convenient environments for economic activities in general. Also, we put some indicators as a group for measuring the effectiveness or monitoring of each action. Implementations like progressing, like comparing urban with the green areas. It's maybe a good indicator. So we can understand by comparing how the urban situation is environmentally with comparing with the green areas. And also we talk about data generated from air measurement devices, as we previously mentioned. Also creating a map with hotspot areas is another indicator. Also we discussed about health quality measurements in community, or the health impact, as we can say. Also, biodiversity measurements like green measurements, number of trees, number of maybe animals. We can just make some studies to take this biodiversity measurement. Also, using relation or correlations between measurements, we can maybe make new results or indicators between these relations or correlations. Also, we as indicator, community awareness is a very important measuring. Another indicator, and last and not the least, the measurements of cooperations between different bodies. I think it's also another important indicator. Well, we ran out of time. We just right until here. Thank you for your patience, and I'm very appreciated. I'm here with you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Hossam. Yeah, thank you very much for your summary. So, yeah, as you can see, we also had a very interesting discussion, and we found many solutions to this air pollution problem. In this specific case, many of the solutions, it's true that they are not strictly nature-based solutions. But of course, the most important one in this case, as Hossam was mentioning, was this increase of the green area. So especially these like forests that can trap these pollutants. And then all of these co-benefits that are associated only to this creation of urban forest that Hossam has mentioned. So a very important nature-based solution to take into account if you want to tackle air pollution in your city. And of course, complementing this solution with the other ones, the monitoring stations, etc. And again, as you can see, the same in the group of Maria, of the French group, a lot of awareness and raising awareness to the different stakeholders, which is key. Also to make them part of the solution process. It's not only the local government that has to solve the problems, but it's everyone has a co-responsibility, the citizens, the private companies, and we have to make them part of the solution and help each other, right? So our city can in this case improve the air quality and tackle at the same time. We mentioned the co-benefits that tackling health air pollution through forest creation and these parks and urban parks can also help tackle other environmental problems that we were talking about, like urban heat island, right? So the increasing temperatures in the city. If you have a forest, that can help with pollution, but also with temperature and flooding mitigation, and of course all of these other environmental and social and economic co-benefits that we have talked about. So yeah, thank you all. At least, yeah, in my group with a very good discussion, also in Maria's group, as I can see. So hopefully we didn't have enough time, right, to discuss all of the environmental problems. We had many problems in this city, but we hope that also with the slides from other sessions, I'm sure we would have all been able to find solutions, nature-based solutions, especially to the different environmental problems that cities are facing, unfortunately, in the Mediterranean basin, especially. But yes, thank you for coming and for all your input. It's been very interesting. And yeah, Gemma, I don't know if
yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah,
I have a few slides about the mentoring. Let me share it with you. Let me know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Maybe you can put it in full screen.
Can you see it full screen?
Yes,
properly?
perfect.
Okay. Well, while I explain you this, Mireia, if you can share the link in the chat about the mentoring. If not, I will send it later.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I would first like to say thank you all. It's really, really nice to see all the discussion and all the solutions that you found. And wow, yeah, it's very, very nice. So about the mentoring section, that well, the application period is going to start now. It starts now after the finalization of this third session. The period where you can apply for the mentoring, it's open 3 weeks. Well, I will explain you better now. But yeah, mainly, So the objectives of this small mentoring process are to accompany and provide advice to 3 municipalities on the diagnosis of the current status and challenges of the municipality, to see which possible solutions can you find that are realistic and time-bound, that tackle the problem that you have selected and detected with the detected, of course, you have previously detected, but with the experts. And then from these possible actions that you can take, select the one that is better or more adequate in this moment for the municipality, together with the mentor, and then write a concept note to provide direction towards the implementation of the selected measures. So the idea is that this concept note can serve both as a guide for the municipalities and also as a document to be further developed for future funding opportunities. So, for example, with donors or with call for proposals, etc. One thing is that during the whole mentoring section, that it's 2 months, it is expected that the municipality will have a high implication and work hand to hand with the mentor, because of course there will be some digging of data and cooperation with the mentor and with the other sectors of the municipality, hopefully. So yeah. This is going to be done first of all through a series of diagnostic interviews with the mentor and the technical team appointed by the municipality. Afterwards, the municipality, guided by the mentor, will write a priorities document, where the one that I was telling you, that you select what is the problematic and possible solutions. After, with the mentor, you revise and select one of the priorities, and then is when you develop this concept note to give direction and to see what would be the next steps for the implementation of this solution. Well, and afterwards it's just the revision of the concept note. The calendar, as I was telling you, is it starts. The application period, it starts now at the end of the 3rd session, and it will close 3 weeks after this. The mentoring process, well, afterwards there will be the evaluation of the forms to see, and we will select 3 municipalities, and the mentoring process will start at the end of May and will run up until the end of July. How to apply? You will have the questionnaire now in the chat. We will also send it to you by email. So as you will see in this questionnaire, there are some questions about the municipality, about the technicians that have been appointed, that will be appointed if the municipality is selected to undergo the mentoring process. And then also there are some questions about the characteristics of the municipality, just so that we have a better understanding. And then you will also need to attach a letter of interest. In this letter of interest, it will have to be signed by a political representative of your municipality, and you will, the director will have to state how would the mentoring process benefit the municipality. In the letter, you will also have to express the commitment to allocate the human resources needed to take part of this mentoring process, and then specify 2 members of the technical team that would be the ones that would work hand to hand with the mentor. That's it. So I don't know if you have any questions. As I told you, you will receive the information also in the email, and of course you can contact. You have the email of MedCities. You can write me directly or contact at medcities.org. I will, and we will answer all the doubts you may have. But if you have any doubt now,
or suggestions for the mentoring, any issue, any specific thematic that you want to tackle?
So I think Mireia sent the mentoring application form. We also attached to the evaluation form in English and in French of these training sessions to know your opinion and to see how, how we could shape it better in the future, or what worked, what you liked, what you didn't. So we would be very grateful if you could fill also the evaluation forms. And we really encourage you to apply for the mentoring.
Just because if nobody raises their hand, I want to say hello to the people of Tetuan. There were two of them in my group, Laila and Hisham. I used to travel to Tetuan long time ago, and it's a very beautiful city. If you have ever the opportunity after the pandemic to visit, it's a very beautiful city.
I think after the pandemic, we should all.
Tu seras la bienvenue à Tetuan.
Exactly.
Tu seras la bienvenue. On a travaillé ensemble pendant longtemps. C'était un très bon moment d'élaboration du plan communal de développement. Oui. Donc, Sistina, vous êtes la bienvenue à la ville de Tetuan.
Merci beaucoup.
Et je vous remercie pour tout ce que tu as fait à Tetuan.
Merci beaucoup.
Okay, so I added here again because some people was asking the links, because the chat in Zoom is not really very user-friendly. So I add it again. So I don't know, do you have any questions, any comments about what was said, or about the mentoring process, any recommendations? No.
Well, I have just one question. It's about the links you have just sent. I think it's all in French.
There is one link in. Oh, did I put both links the same?
Yes,
no.
both links. All links are in French. I think there is one. It's about evaluation, maybe. Evaluation. Yes, it's both in French. Sorry.
You are right. I'm sorry. I will
well
put
spotted, Husam. Good job.
Yeah. Anyway, I will send it also in the email. But
okay, thank you.
Yeah, well spotted.
Yes, so I think Gemma will forward you the correct links, both in French and English, by email. So yes, don't worry, you will have it. In case you don't receive it, or there's something wrong, like let us know. But yeah, also from my side, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be with you in these 3 sessions. I hope it's been interesting for you, and you've learned, even if it's one thing, then I'm happy with that. And I think it's also been a good space for us to share, like also between different cities, right? So experiences and inputs and points of view of all of these, unfortunately, environmental problems that we have to deal with. So it's been a pleasure, and hopefully see some of you in the mentoring process, and with the rest of you, see you for sure next time at some other point. So yeah, thank you all.
Okay, I just sent the link in English.
Let me check.
Okay. Anyway,
yes,
I will send it to you in the
yes,
email.
it's in English.
Thank
yes.
you for letting me know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so bye all. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you apply for the mentoring.
We did. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you all. Bye.
شكرا جزيلا.
Pleasure.
مع
Bye-bye.
السلامة.
Thank you.
Bye.
Merci. Au revoir.